Jai Ma, thank you for coming back. I'm going to start a new series on having a conversation with people who are into Murtis, have Murtis, or have a desire to get into Murtis. So I would like to welcome Agneta, aka Jill. Please come on in. Jill.
Hi.
Tell people about yourself.
Well, June Beach, San Diego. I teach yoga.
And what's the name?
Indie. Yeah. I lead. I've led 4 so far, and most of the time I bring them to you. The past 2-3 years.
Yes.
Yeah. To learn about the Murtis and Indian philosophy.
And what's been the feedback so far?
You're the favorite part of the teacher training. It's true. You're my favorite part too.
Well, it takes you, and Jill always brings, I'm not bringing in ageism, but there's a definite emphasis on younger yogis. Is that fair? Millennials, and I love to be inspired because you are the future, you know.
Yeah.
So love what you do, Jill.
Thank you.
And I know you have a Murti from me already.
I do. I have 2 actually.
Yes.
Yeah. I have Lakshmi.
Yes.
And Sarasvati.
Let me bring the Lakshmi.
Okay.
We're going to have a longer conversation on Lakshmi.
You're going to hold it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to hold it. Is that okay?
Yeah.
What would you like to share? What drew you to Lakshmi? What connects you with this one?
Well, I wasn't even expecting anything to come out of that day. Like, I wasn't thinking I was going to get a Murti. And then I sat in front of this Lakshmi. And you were talking about Lakshmi. And I could feel this energy behind me. And I just knew that she was coming home with me. And you were talking about how she gives you what you want so that it's no longer a distraction.
Yes.
That was something that really appealed to me.
Yes.
Also balance of the physical and spiritual world.
Yes. So that balance is shown by down. She says is be grounded.
Be grounded.
And leg up means be on the yogic path.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's something that I strive for in my life.
Yes.
To stay connected to both realms.
Yes.
And enjoy both realms.
I also love the coin she holds in her left hand. So this is the Varada Mudra, right? The boon giving hand. And the boon she gives us is not just abundance, but enoughness, that feeling of contentment, right? So that leads to, as you put it, like peace of mind, right? And at the end of the day, that's really what we seek. You know, we might seek it through stuff, but it is peace of mind.
Yeah.
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 And I love this Lakshmi because she's doing with the right hand this one. This is like a Moksha Lakshmi.
The spiritual abundance is. Yes.
What was your... I know you did it then.
Well, I felt the hands, like you were talking about.
Yes.
I was definitely feeling a lot of energy.
So here's the... to people who are watching. So with Lakshmi, you do a double meditation. And before I linger too much, she's really heavy. Mahalakshmi Namaha. So, double and then you in your thoughts, the gap increases, and then you open your eyes to the Lakshmi Murti. Your mind is like a vacuum, right? Because the gap has increased, and when you gaze, and meditation is we close our eyes, and you realized the Lakshmi archetype. So when you just be, when you just abide, some people notice a tingling, an energy. And I know you felt that. The energy can be, when you place your attention to the palms, you can feel an energy from one going to the other, from the other going to one. Some people even felt like a buzzing in the head, what I call a Nada Brahman, the sound of consciousness. So that was pretty powerful.
Yeah.
And before we go on to Sarasvati, because we may as well do her, right? This is like a goddess teaching.
Yeah.
What would you tell, like the retreat we do for like 4 days, my wife Jyoti and I, we teach, well, if you were to describe it, what would that be?
For me, it's always a reminder of truth.
Yes.
Because we connect in community and we lift each other up and we share stories. Going on the path that I've chosen, that I know, and all of that stuff. So just coming here for me is what I need to keep going and keep moving.
To spell that Agnetta?
Agnete.
Agneta.
Yeah. I actually matches things with your name too. Naturally, as blonde, I just.
Yes, I can work.
Just
Right.
It actually, I looked it up, I Googled it.
Okay.
And the first thing that comes up is chaste,
Yes.
chastity, and then I investigated what I've been, what I've done in this lifetime.
Grows in mud. So the world in this teachings is like very insidious, right? Very manipulative. But we can all be like lotuses. We can abide in our truth.
Yeah.
And that's the Lakshmi you got first. And that's such a powerful meaning. I feel it's right on who you are.
Yeah, I feel it too. It's like my truth. And taking Lakshmi home that night changed my life forever.
Yes.
There's no joke.
Well, I will say the abundance I see personally, I've seen you over the years. Did you come with another teacher at that time? I remember the first time.
Yeah, I always come with my partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I see you like the expansion. I mean, you like exploded as a teacher. I mean, people are drawn to you, your energy, and that's spiritual abundance, right?
Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah, I love that. And you just trust.
I do.
Trust that. Now you spoke about truth, right? So you have like people coming to a yoga studio, your teacher trainings. And if I were to generally classify people, there are people who are like casually interested, the physical. They want a nice butt, which is okay.
Yeah, it's a good way to start.
It's a good way to start.
It gets a lot of people started.
How do you sort of bring them along? Because I'm curious, we've never had a conversation. How do you get them interested in the teacher training, which can be fairly spiritual, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it just ends up being spiritual because it happens naturally.
Yeah.
It's like I was talking to your daughter earlier about how, because she wants to do teacher training.
Yeah, our daughter, by the way, she's watching this, and she's millennial. That means she's never written a check or been to a bank or a post office, right? But she loves yoga.
I guess so.
Yeah. She does a hot yoga, the Bikram, but she's grown up with us with all the philosophy.
Yeah.
So what were you sharing?
So I feel like when the time is right for teacher training, and we're attracted to a certain group to work with too, because I've led 4 teacher trainings now, and every time the group is so important because they show up as mirrors for each other.
Yes.
And support for each other.
Yes.
So I feel like whoever is meant to end up in that group will be there.
Yes.
So for me, I just show up authentically in my classes and honor my truth. And I think people can feel that.
Yes.
And then the types of people that are drawn to my type of yoga and teaching want to take my yoga teacher training. So honestly, I feel like it just happens naturally.
In the flow.
In the flow.
I love it.
Yeah.
And one of the things our daughter mentioned is she loves the community aspect. The yogis, not just within the class, but outside.
Yeah, it's so important that community and connection. In my life, I found that the most important things are purpose, having a purpose, waking up and feeling like I am here for a reason.
Yes.
As of service to something, and community connection, friends, family.
Love it. But to also get together a community, one has to have a bit of gravitas, teachings. And that's where, perhaps, in your life as your archetype.
Should I grab it?
Bring her? Three sizes, right? I have a small one. Let me show the small one.
Yeah, this is the one I... Yeah.
A huge conversation.
From my teacher training last year.
Damien.
Yeah, Damien.
Yeah, you think he should sign the disclaimer form like you did? No, I'm just joking.
Maybe Damien should do.
We were mentioning his name, that's why. Yeah. Maybe he should get filmed too.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a character, huh?
He is.
Does he have that meditation space in OB?
I don't know.
He wanted
I
to
need
do
to
that.
Connect with him again
He
and see what's
invited
going
me
on.
He's doing something.
Yeah. So Sarasvati was a gift, and to me, she kind of represents a balance to Lakshmi's energy, more studious, intellectual, more knowledge-based.
Yes.
And for me, that can be a little more challenging. Like I'm reading 20 books right now, and I haven't finished any of them. Like
What's your favorite?
Right now, I'm reading The Esoteric Empath.
Whoa,
It's a really
you
good
told
book.
me that.
It's a really good book, but I'm reading a lot of them.
Esoteric Empath.
Yeah.
I could use that.
Yeah, I think that's something that more of us need to be learning about.
Because because of my openness, I can get into that empathy fatigue.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a
Story
suggestion?
of my life.
Can you help me?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of just meditation and breath work helps. Taking space, clearing energy.
Yeah.
Especially when you're working with the groups.
Yes.
You just have to separate and clear.
Yes. Also disconnect, right? A lot from constantly responding to text or
Yes.
email. We're like jumping around,
Yeah, we feel like, I feel this pressure to always be responding immediately all the time. And
Yes.
sometimes we just need to
Yes.
let it go.
So Saraswati is really where you're going big time, because it's the wisdom, right? So the pinnacle of the in a heroine's journey is the wisdom goddess with the the feminine Devi and a mother, But the wisdom is the pinnacle, and they say within every person's heart resides two goddesses, right? Lakshmi and Saraswati. And Lakshmi is like luminosity too, but you never pray to Lakshmi for abundance directly. You pray to Saraswati for wisdom. And that makes Lakshmi jealous.
Yeah.
And she runs after you, right? So you chase the wisdom all the time. I love that. So there are three goddesses in the main goddess tradition in Navratri. Nav is 9, Ratri is night. So it's like the festival of the goddess happens September, October. So the last 3 nights people worship Saraswati. The middle 3 nights is Lakshmi. And the first 3 nights is Durga.
Really?
So Durga helps with clearing the shadow, especially the shadow aspect. So let's have a chat about Durga.
Yes, please.
And what draws you to her?
Well, you said she's the ultimate badass.
Yes.
So, I mean, who's not going to want that?
Well,
also, I Googled earlier.
Yes.
And Google, according to Google, she keeps wickedness away. She's a protector.
She's a protector against negative energies.
Yeah.
And even in a mythology, Kali can come from Durga's brow, There's a brow, and in the whole story, so Kali comes from Durga. So Kali is the badass, right?
Yeah.
Even our ex-governor of California, Schwarzenegger,
Yeah.
used to call a state California, land of Kali.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
So he knew?
No, I think that's a bad joke.
Okay.
But I'm saying, I think it's from Austria, right? Austrian accent.
Yeah.
But Kali comes from Durga's brow when this demon was like taking over the world. Mahishasura. And then Rakta Bija was another demon. So these are demons who come, who are external to us, but sometimes the demons are within us, right? As shadows, perhaps. So we did some shadow work at the retreat.
Yeah, that was actually my favorite part.
Wow.
Yeah. Because it really connected people immediately. Like, when you're in a big group like that, it's so easy to look at somebody and judge them and assume their story based on how they look. But when you group people together and they open up and share their shadows, it connects us immediately because we could all relate in some way. And then when you hear somebody's shadow, somebody's struggle, what makes them suffer, it just makes them more human to you. And it's like, it's instant connection.
Yeah. You know what? That was my favorite part. People were sharing. It was a safe environment. If there's one criticism I had, it was too big. We had like 65 people and we split into like 8 groups. That was my biggest challenge, right? So how do you split into groups?
Yeah.
We're doing another retreat in July about your story in Kali Yuga.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll be more intimate. I would like people to do more deeper work.
Yeah. I'll be there.
Thank you.
Always.
It's like $108.
Yeah.
I give a money back guarantee. And there's a gourmet lunch, there's bomb chai, snacks.
Yeah, amazing.
But at the end of the day, it's not the money. People give the attention. For 4 days, we're doing 7:30 in the morning until 6. And it's not like we're doing any marketing because it's not the money, right? People want to be part of a community. We get people from all over the country. So Durga is what I would call an archetype to remove the shadow or work with the shadow, perhaps integrate the shadow. Sometimes when the shadows are mild, she can get rid of them. But when the karmas are so strong, it's like swimming upstream. She can help integrate us. It's very powerful, right?
Yeah.
And you like the color red and the gold.
Yeah, it's just, I'm very drawn to Durga right now, and like I say, I go with my heart and I just trust. So that's just following that.
To me, Durga is also an amalgamation of all the gods and goddesses. So if there's one deity who's everyone is Durga. So for instance, Kali gives the axe, Hanuman gives the club, the
cool.
mace,
Yeah.
Ram gives the bow, Shiva gives the trident, and then the Vishnu gives the conch shell and the chakra, and the lotus comes from Lakshmi. And the beautiful face is like Parvati, Shakti. So this beautiful, amazing goddess with all these fierce weapons is both, right? Fierce feminine.
Yeah.
She comes on like a real, that's a powerful lion. I get like chills when I see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love is nostril, it's kind of big. Yeah.
And I've always been drawn to lions too my whole life.
Yeah, Leo.
Yeah. They're my protectors.
So he's got that gaze to that lion, you know. So imagine the demon who's like taking over the world, and Durga comes on this lion, bobbing up and down with the beauty and fierceness. And you can hear Krishna Das chanting Hey Ma Durga, right? And the lion, and he wins a Grammy, by the way. The demon takes one look at her and he falls in love. He says, come, marry me, we will torture the world together, right? But she realizes that's a main shadow, you know. People don't lose their tendencies. The tendency of the demon is to torture people, which is metaphorically torturing ourselves, you know. So she slays the demon and becomes Mahishasura, the slayer of the demon Mahishasura. So very powerful energy. Personally, she's one of my archetypes. I was in a hotel in Cincinnati 8 years ago at a teacher training, and I wake up in the middle of the night. She came in my dream. Sometimes the archetypes come in your dream, like Jung talks about that. So it was like roughly around 10 minutes to 2. She came in my dream. I woke up. I was wondering, hey, what an odd hour. And 10 minutes later at 2, the fire alarm went off, and we evacuated the hotel. So since then, she's my, you know, she protects me. She's a protector. I know Raquel from Nashville. She was swimming off a beach in South America. There's no lifeguards, and she and her friend were like being swept away by waves against rocks, and both of them literally felt Durga. They felt her arms around them and kind of bring them to safety, you know. So there's definitely a very protective energy of Durga, you know.
Yeah, and who can't use protection right now with the way everything is?
Yes.
So
there's way too much stuff out there.
Yeah.
And within us, the anxiety is a lot, going through the roof. And Durga is an amazing, amazing goddess who comes to our life as a compassionate yet badass mother who protects us.
Yeah. Compassionate badass.
Compassionate badass, I would say that.
It's good balance.
Agneta.
Manoj.
Thank you.
you.
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma.